It's your boy Davidoff. It is time for the Squiggle Ladder Predictor. How long will this take me? I have no idea. I was meant to record this all together with my other AFL videos from yesterday, but I ran out of time. It was like 5 AM. I thought, alright, I've made 4 main channel videos, 4 second channel videos, and it's 5 AM. I got work tomorrow. I gotta go to sleep. But I'm here now, and let's see how this prediction goes. Let's see how similar it is to my main AFL Ladder Predictor. Let's do this. Melbourne v Essendon Bulldogs. I'm going to base this off my tips. So I tipped the Bulldogs. Bulldogs by 21. Richmond. I got to double check. I don't trust myself sometimes, right? I don't trust myself. All right. I just gotta make sure. Richmond, Saints, yeah, I went all home teams after. Right, that's easy enough to remember. Richmond by 13. Carlton to do quite well. Saints to beat Collingwood by 9. I know Collingwood are, you know, weaker now, but I still think they will make it close against Saints. I could be wrong. Geelong v Essendon. Geelong by 20. Giants by 5. Lions against Port. Lions by 9. Another close game, I predict. Hawthorne by 15 points. I'm going around the 20 range. I'm not going for any blowouts yet, but it's only round 1. All right, plenty can change. Can you predict a draw in this? You can't. I'm not going to predict it. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm just saying, can you? I don't think I can. Where's 0? Anyway, never mind. Adelaide, I think, to win by 10. West Coast to beat Gold Coast by 22. Right, and now we are in round 2. So, yeah, based on how I think the first round will go in terms of my tips, this is the rough ladder. Obviously, percentage would vary based on like how accurate my predictions are. But yeah, based on percentage, these would be the 9 teams winning their first game, and this would be the potential order. The potential order. I could tell you Geelong will stay in this sort of region. West Coast will drop. Dogs will be staying in the top 4. Hawthorne will drop, unfortunately for me. Where's my hat? You know what? I don't. That's a bad idea. My green screen doesn't like yellow, so I'm not going to. It responds badly to yellow and obviously green as well. So yeah, I need to avoid wearing my. That's why I stopped wearing my hat. I thought it was because of the shadow, but it's not. Adelaide will drop. Richmond will drop, but not too far. Saints will. At the start, I think they drop a little bit, but I did predict them like 7th, I think. Lions will go up. Lions will go up somewhere there. So. Yeah, only the first round, so plenty can change, but I'm sure it won't stay like this. Anyway, Dogs to beat Carlton by 31, a strong start to the season for them. Sydney to beat Geelong by 2 in a classic. Oh, now this is a game. This is the who doesn't want the spoon game. I could be wrong. I don't think Collingwood will get the spoon, but some people think they will. So maybe I'm missing something. But either way, I expect both of these teams in the bottom 4. Again, could be wrong. I'm not saying that to save face, but I'm just saying, you know, I got to put it out there because some people get a little bit angry about some of my predictions. You got to tread carefully sometimes because people support these teams. You got to remember. Collingwood. Are Adelaide even good at the MCG? Have Adelaide ever been good at the MCG? They probably have been a few times, but yeah, not recently, right? But either way, I think Collingwood should beat them. But they could make a close game of it. I put 15 anyway. I know I could go back, but I'm still putting 15. I love how it generates the score as well. Like, I never picked 85-70. How do you know I don't mean 100? 185. I got confused because it said 85 there. You know what? I got an A in maths and I couldn't. You know what? That never happened. That never happened. I didn't have to think about 100 minus 15. Essendon I think Essendon will beat Brisbane by 5. As you guys said, round 1 is hard to predict. Even I know this as well. So, like, you don't know how round 1's going to go. And the first few rounds could shock you, even like round 2 and round 3. So, like, I'm thinking, oh, Collingwood will definitely be poor. Geelong will be definitely up there. But really, we don't know. There's going to be some shocks, probably. There's going to be a team at the bottom that you never thought would be there. And there's going to be a team up there that's never, up at the top, that's never going to be there. It's like Gold Coast in the top 4 for like the first 8 weeks, was it? 2 years ago? You know, stuff like that, you know? So I'm predicting based on what I think will happen, but you just know, like, there's going to be some outrageous predictions here. Unfortunately, I think we'll lose to Port. Remember, my Premiership winner prediction is Port Adelaide, so it's not just because of that, but I think at the Oval they should beat us. Even though I'd love it if we would beat them, but I think they'll beat us. Gold Coast! Melbourne will beat them, I think. Melbourne by 29 points. North v West Coast. This could also be a battle of who doesn't want the spoon. I don't think West Coast will get the spoon, but still. I think they'll be quite low down. Although I think they'll do better than North, better than Gold Coast, better than Collingwood, and better than Adelaide. I could be wrong, but I think they'll be better than all 4 of those teams. Either way, I could see North winning this game for some reason. Probably not just me who thinks that. West Coast don't look too good. 20 points. Richmond. They'll beat the Giants by 18. Freo to beat St Kilda by 17. Western Bulldogs to beat, we're in round 3 now. Western Bulldogs to beat Sydney. Yeah, Western Bulldogs to beat Sydney in a close one by 4. Yeah. Melbourne, I think, will beat Essendon. I'm going to go 14. I'm not going for too many shocks at the moment. A few upsets maybe, but Adelaide I don't think will be. I think Port Adelaide will beat them twice this year, assuming they are playing twice, right? 20 points. How do they determine which games are twice and which games are not? That's a good question, because obviously there's 23 rounds, so like, you know, it's only like what, 6 games where you play someone twice. Giants will beat Gold Coast by 34. I keep thinking Gold Coast will get smashed, but you know, they're probably going to be quite good. They might lose a lot of games, but they don't really get smashed anymore. Not as often anyway. But I still have them getting smashed the most in this prediction. Collingwood v Geelong. Geelong are better, but for some reason I'm thinking the Pies might win this game. Why am I thinking that? Why is that in my head? That shouldn't be in my head. Look, listen guys, risks. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way, based on what I think about both teams right now, there's no way I think that the Magpies will beat the Cats. Not even at the MCG. 30 points. I also like to think that, I mean, I don't like to think because I want them to lose, but I'd like to think that Geelong play better at the MCG now. Definitely more so than they have in previous seasons, especially in the finals. Brisbane will beat North. I'm going to go for an emphatic 30-point victory. God, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. We did beat them last year, but we've had some bad games against them in the last few years. I started watching 2017. We lost to them in that season. I was very annoyed about that game. I don't know if you guys remember. I reacted to it. Carlton to win this game by 7. Please be wrong, David. Right, Saints to beat Richmond. Didn't Saints beat Richmond last year at Marvel? Or was that a different team? I can't remember. Or the year before. Western Derby. Fremantle to break the curse. They haven't broken it, right? They did lose to West Coast last year twice, right? Or did they win one? No, but Freo will break the curse if they haven't already. Freo by 22 points. They will break it. Port Adelaide, in a statement, to beat Melbourne. It wouldn't be the first time they would beat one of the best teams, maybe the best team in the comp, you know. They beaten Richmond a few times at the Oval when Richmond were dominant, so I don't see why they can't beat Melbourne. Obviously, Melbourne are a great team. They were brilliant last year, and they will be great this year. I don't know why they're 9th now. What have I done? But I'm just saying, they could lose to Port. That's an interesting game, though. That's round 4, right? Yeah, I look forward to that. I look forward to that. Geelong will beat the Lions, but only by 9. Sydney, I think, will beat North by 26. It is interesting, though, because if I change the margins drastically, these percentages are not the same. They change drastically as well. And you just know someone's going to get smashed more often than others. Collingwood West Coast, a nice grand final rematch. Not at the MCG. That's kind of fitting, actually, because both teams have dropped quite a lot in quality since 2018. So maybe they don't deserve the MCG. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't shoot. Don't shoot me. Okay. I'm not sure, you know. Collingwood by 1. Collingwood by 1. Richmond to lose to the Dogs by 21. Might be a surprise. Richmond obviously very good at home. Freo to beat the Giants by 24. They'll be comfortable in Perth, I think. Adelaide, I think... Sorry, not Adelaide. Essendon, I think, will beat Adelaide. That's what I was going to say. I called them Adelaide. I don't know. Hawthorne v Saints. Why do I think we'll lose this? This is what happens with my teams. I'm always cynical. I'm always negative about my own teams. Saints to win by 7. It's like with Arsenal. Arsenal have lost 1 game since December, and I still get annoyed about. I still get worried about every game before we play them. Gold Coast. You see, my mouths are rolling over Carlton winning, but I think this might be one of the Gold Coast victories. But it might depend on how Carlton start their season. If they start badly, like they start a win as well, they could lose to Gold Coast, theoretically. I feel like when it goes bad for Carlton, it goes really bad. But when it goes well, you know, they really show something. Screw it. Gold Coast to beat Carlton by 6. Did I go 6 or 5? I don't... You know what? 5. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Make it... I said 6, so we'll make it 6. Brisbane to beat Collingwood by 23. North v Western Bulldogs. Nah. North won't do it. No. I always think, like, who could be a potential winning underdog here? Nah, not North Melbourne. No. West Coast to lose to Sydney by 11. Yes, that puts Sydney in 6th as well. Saints to beat Gold Coast by 10. Adelaide to beat Richmond by 8. Melbourne to beat the Giants by 31. Carlton to lose to Port Adelaide by 15. Essendon to beat Freo by 16. This is mainly home advantage, which doesn't always mean that much, but if this was in Perth, I'd say Freo. It's one of those games for me. I just pick who's winning at home. It backfires sometimes, but most of the time, I think it's right. Most of the time. Hawthorne V Geelong. Oh, yes. Oh, no. I think we'll lose. Geelong by 17. I do sincerely hope I'm wrong. I really do. Giants will beat the Saints by 13. I'm trying not to look at the ladder as well, just so it doesn't influence me. Western Bulldogs to beat Adelaide, I think, by 30. Port Adelaide to beat West Coast by 32. Freo to beat Actually, you know what? Carlton by 1. Carlton like to win away in Freo, alright? They'll do it again. They'll wear that white kit and they'll beat them in... they'll beat them with a very late play, yeah? After arguing with the cameraman. North Melbourne, I think, will lose to Geelong by 4. Yes, I know there's an advantage there for North, but I just don't see how they'll beat Geelong in any stadium this year. Gold Coast, to lose the Q Clash. This obviously isn't as good a rivalry as a lot of the AFL rivalries out there. It is fairly new, but it doesn't seem as fierce, you know, as like a Western Derby or, you know, Hawk Geelong or, you know, West Coast. Yeah, you get the point, right? Despite that, I think Gold Coast will give them a good game. And I think they'll put up a valiant challenge, a valiant effort, just to lose to Brisbane by 4 points. Richmond to lose to Melbourne by 18. Hawthorne and Sydney love having close games. For the most part, we've been having close games for quite a few years now. Sometimes it's not, but most of the time it is. So, Sydney by 3. Yeah, I'm just being realistic in terms of what I expect to happen, but, you know, we'll see. Essendon v Collingwood. Essendon to win by 3. Is this the Anzac Day game? It is. I don't know how that affects my thinking, but I'm just saying Collingwood normally win this fixture, don't they? It's normally a close game, though. Essendon by 2. No umpire decisions will affect that game. Here's hoping. West Coast v Richmond. West Coast to pull off. I think this would be a shock to me based on what I think right now. I said Richmond would be 9th and West Coast like 15th or something, or 14th. So Richmond should be better, but I think West Coast will beat them in a close one by 3 points. Geelong v Freo. Geelong by 27. They will smash them. Freo are pretty good, but they will not beat Geelong. Adelaide to shock the Giants in a 12-point victory. Melbourne, unfortunately for me, to beat Hawthorn by 22 points. St Kilda to cause a shock. They're going to cause a shock, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to win by 10 points against the mighty Port Adelaide. Yes, they have the power to be 5th. That's the first time I checked in quite a few rounds. Carlton v North. Carlton by 8. For some reason, I think that will be close. Collingwood to lose to Gold Coast. Right, Gold Coast by 12. Is that a shock? I don't know. Guess it depends how the season goes in the first 6 rounds. Western Bulldogs, I think, will defeat Essendon by 9. So I've got the Western Bulldogs winning every game so far, which can happen. Last year, Melbourne won, like, what? Was it 8 or 9 in a row? Or 10? They won a lot in a row. Western Bulldogs were up there with them, but Western Bulldogs eventually lost. But still, like, you know, this form is possible. I'm sure you can predict a draw. I mean, there's a draw column here. Maybe it's just a ladder, but still, like, come on. Sydney to beat Brisbane in a close one by 3 points. Port Adelaide to beat the Western Bulldogs by 10. I expect them to make that little over a fortress in this season. Here's another hot prediction, right? Port Adelaide will not lose at home. Lock it in, all right? They will not lose at home. They will win both their qualifying and prelim, and they'll win the grand final. Port Adelaide flag. Unbeaten home team, right? It's happening. I just got a feeling about them, all right? Yeah, it's not that I support them. I just got a feeling that they'll do really well. Freo, I think, will beat North by 16. Richmond to beat Collingwood by 20. Sydney to beat Gold Coast by 30. Again, Gold Coast, the only team have getting smashed. So that's going to backfire on me because their percentage is suffering, although not that much worse is North Melbourne. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not predicting as badly as I think I am. The Giants to beat Geelong by 8. Geelong would still be in second at that point. Essendon to lose to Hawthorne in a close one by 2 points, even at Docklands, I know. Brisbane v West Coast. Brisbane by 20. Melbourne to beat St Kilda by 26. Carlton to beat Adelaide by 19. Western Bulldogs to beat Collingwood by 11. Hawthorne to beat Richmond. We're going to do it. We have done it recently, to be fair. Was it 2 years ago? It was an empty stadium, so it wasn't that long ago. 9. Must be, yeah, 9. I tipped 9. Port Adelaide to beat North in a close one by 5. So far, every team has won a game, and every team has lost a game. So, I got no teams unbeaten. I mean, it's not that that'll ever happen. I mean, Essendon had 1 loss in 2000. That's as close as it's gotten. So, it's not that I would predict anyone to go unbeaten. But Port Adelaide to not lose at home, that's possible. That's a bit more possible than just not losing any game. Saints. I reckon they pull off a shock. And they win by 6. Wow. Geelong was second. They could drop out the top 4 from the last 2 rounds of predictions. I'm checking it too much, damn it. I'm checking it too much. Sydney Essendon. Another pair that like to have a close game. Essendon to pull off a shock victory by 1 with a last second behind. On the siren behind. Can you imagine if I get that right? You can come back to this video and be like, wow, David, you were right. Adelaide v Brisbane. Brisbane by 6. Gold Coast to beat Freo by 13. That's the game Freo would lose. That's the game Freo would lose. That is the Freo losing game. The Giants to beat Carlton by 8. West Coast to lose to Melbourne. A repeat of that 2018, not the prelim obviously. West Coast smashed that. But the one in round 22. They didn't win by 30 points, did they? They just scored 30 in the first quarter. For some reason, I'm thinking of that game. I'm still going to go 30-point victory, even though that wasn't the score. Carlton, Sydney. Carlton, Sydney. I reckon Carlton can do it, you know. But I ain't got the bottle to stick with that, so I'll go with Sydney. Geelong, I think, will beat Port in this game by 13 points. Interesting. The same top, you know, the grand finalists at the top 2. Geelong in 3rd, Port in 4th. It looks similar to what I predicted. I had the Giants in the 8 and Essendon like 10th. But my 8 is almost, in terms of like who's in it, you know, apart from Essendon, that's almost what it is, but not the right positions. The Giants, by 14 against West Coast. Brisbane, I think, will beat Hawthorne, unfortunately. They got our number, they like to beat us, apart from last year. North. To pull off a shock and win by 8. Yes. Risks are there to be taken. Melbourne will still make the finals in the top 4 as well. Richmond, I think, will beat Essendon by 12. Western Bulldogs to beat Gold Coast by 25. Adelaide to beat St Kilda by 11. Freo to beat Collingwood by 11. Brisbane to beat the Giants by 23. Collingwood to beat... Sorry. Yes, actually, yes. Collingwood to beat Carlton by 11. Geelong to beat Adelaide by 39. Melbourne to beat Freo by 22. St Kilda to beat North, yes, by 21. Sydney to beat Richmond, I think, by 13. Hawthorne to surely beat Gold Coast. Port Adelaide, I think, will beat Essendon. Yes, at the Oval especially. West Coast will lose to Western Bulldogs, but in a close one. 3 points, I think. Hawthorne to beat Collingwood by 1 in a very close game. Melbourne to beat Sydney by less than a goal. Western Bulldogs to beat Geelong, also by less than a goal, but 2 points instead of 5. Adelaide to beat West Coast. According to me, this is gonna be a classic round. 4 points. Gold Coast v North. Another close one, I think, by 1 point. I'm not doing this on purpose, by the way. I genuinely think there'll be close games, but I could be wrong. I think the Lions will beat Freo by 7. Actually, you know what? It's in Perth. Freo can do this. Come on, Freo. Yeah, you can do this. The Lions again. Okay. Did I get less rest time between the two games? The Lions, I think, will beat the Saints by 12. Collingwood to unfortunately beat Melbourne by 11. Essendon v Carlton. This could be a close one. This game has come up with some very interesting results. I think, remember that game where Essendon... No, sorry. Actually, yeah, there was a time... Actually, I can't remember what it was. Either Essendon were on really good form and they lost one game, it was Carlton. Or it was Carlton were on bad form and the other game they won was against Essendon. It was one of the two. It might be in the other one. It might be in the latter. I think there was a time... I think it was like 2 years ago. Carlton were really bad, but they won one game in like 10 and it was Essendon. But yes, Carlton to beat Essendon in a close one by 2 points. North to shock the Giants and win by 11. Richmond at the MCG. I think we'll lose to Port. This is a game where people will start finally thinking and agreeing with Davidoff, thinking, you know what, that Davidoff fella was right. Maybe Port can win the flag. That's the game when you realise it. Freo v Hawthorne. I think it'll be a Freo victory by 14 points, unfortunately for me. Gold Coast to beat Adelaide by 11. The Giants. I've gone for too many similar numbers. I feel like I'm picking the same numbers in a circle now. The Giants, I think, will beat the Western Bulldogs. Got to watch my camera because it's going to run out soon. Yeah, but I'm going to say the Giants beat the Western Bulldogs. I'm going to say by 10. I upgraded my camera, but like it lasts half an hour, I think. So I need to just watch it because it's already 28 minutes. What's going on? This video's they're always longer than I think they'll be. I'm just like 23 rounds, 9 games per round. How hard could it be? It actually takes a lot longer than you think it does. Even with, you know, obviously bye rounds. Obviously not every round is 9 games, but you get the point. Richmond, I think, will beat Carlton in this game by 15. Did I have them winning in the first round as well? I think I did. St Kilda v Essendon. St Kilda to win by 5. I've gone for so many close games. It is possible. You know, you can have a lot of close games. Sometimes you have like 6 in one round. We have those rounds sometimes. Port Adelaide to beat Sydney by 16. I really hope I haven't had Port losing a home game yet, because I predicted them to not lose a home game in this video, so I would assume I always tipped them at home. I would hope so anyway. I tipped them to lose 3 times. Yeah, I think we're fine. West Coast to lose to Geelong by 19, even in Perth. Carlton to once again beat Freo by 9. Collingwood to beat the Giants. Their MCG form is not great. I think it got better last year, did it? I can't remember. I think it got a little bit better, but they're not that reliable at the MCG, the Giants. Geelong to lose to Richmond in this game by 8. Richmond are currently in 10th according to my predictions. The percentages are way too close for it to be realistic, to be honest. So let's just mainly look at positions. That's the main part we got to look at now. Melbourne to beat Brisbane, I think, by a goal. North Melbourne to beat the Adelaide Crows by 16 points. Wow, I've got West Coast in last. Okay. I had them in, like, I thought, like, I mean, this is my bottom 5. But I would have had the West Coast above all of these 4. But that's interesting. Also, the top 8, 3 are in there now. The Giants are in my 8 in my ladder predictions. Apart from that, you know, Hawthorne, Carlton. Right, I don't know where the recording stopped, But what I was saying was, I would have had West Coast above these four, but the bottom five, for the most part, seem to be accurate. And then you got the 8. Apart from Freo, the rest I had in the 8. So it's quite interesting. And I have the I have similar teams at the top as well. So and I have St Kilda exactly 7th, Bulldogs exactly 1st. Also what I predicted. Hawthorne, Carlton in the area that I thought they'd be. Same in Richmond. Okay. In many ways, it's similar to what I've tipped, but we've still got rounds to go. Let's see how it goes from here. The Sydney Swans, I think, will beat the Saints by 8. Hawthorne to lose to the Dogs by 3. I think it'll be quite a close game for some reason. Port Adelaide to beat Gold Coast by 30. Big percentage booster game. That's for them, I think. West Coast, I think, beat Essendon in this game by 10. I could be wrong. Essendon have gone there and won recently, but for some reason, I think they'll win that. West Coast will win that game. The Brisbane Lions to lose to the Dogs at the Gabba. Is it so shocking? You know, that's not what I've... yeah, at the Gabba by 21 points. I predict a comfortable Dogs victory. I could be wrong, but we shall see. Essendon v Sydney. Essendon by 2. Geelong v North. Geelong by 33 points. Gold Coast to beat Collingwood by 10. The Giants to beat Hawthorn by 14. Richmond to beat West Coast by 23. Melbourne to beat Adelaide by 19. Freo to beat... Yes, Freo to beat Port Adelaide by 1. Brisbane to beat Essendon by 3 goals. Collingwood to lose... No. Nah. Not to North. Not to North. They will beat North by 9 at the MCG. Geelong will beat Melbourne in this game by 14 points. Gold Coast will lose to Richmond by 13. That puts the Tigers in the 8. Interesting result. Hawthorn, I think, will beat Adelaide. And I think will beat them by 4 goals. 4 goals. 24-point victory. St Kilda v Freo. I'm giving this to home advantage. St Kilda by 16. Sydney, I think, will beat the Dogs by 7. Port, I think, will beat the Giants by 17 at the Oval. Perth, why am I saying Perth? West Coast in Perth to beat Carlton by 15. Carlton to follow it up with a loss to Geelong by 15 also. Essendon to beat Gold Coast by 17 points. The Giants to lose to the Lions by 8. The Lions are a pretty good away team, aren't they? Or am I thinking of someone else? You know what? Let's continue. Hawthorn, I think, will beat West Coast Eagles at the MCG. And I think we'll do it by 16 points. North to shock the Tigers and win by a goal, taking them into 16th place above Adelaide. Western Bulldogs to beat the Saints by 14. Collingwood to beat Adelaide by 12, even at the Oval. No, I'm changing my mind. Adelaide by 17. Melbourne to beat Port Adelaide, get revenge on the Adelaide Oval loss, winning by 9. Freo, I think, will beat Sydney. I know Sydney are a better team, but I think in this game, on this day, Freo will win by 14 points. The Lions to win this Q Clash more comfortably than the previous one by 23 points. Carlton to lose to the Giants in a very controversial 1 point victory. You know, you never know what could happen. Right, they've dropped below Collingwood. What's going on there? Collingwood to win this by 5, so they're still dropping below Collingwood. North, unfortunately, I think they'll get revenge on us in this game and beat us by 5. Hope I'm wrong. Richmond to beat Freo by 22. Sydney to beat Adelaide by 28. Western Bulldogs v Melbourne. Ooh. Melbourne by 1. And that puts them in 2nd as well. That's pretty mad. Port Adelaide to beat Geelong at the Oval by 16 points. West Coast Eagles to beat St Kilda by 10. Collingwood to lose to Port Adelaide by 12. Essendon to beat North by 20. Geelong to beat the Bulldogs by 12. Gold Coast to beat West Coast by 5. Richmond to beat the Lions by 8. St Kilda v Hawthorne. I really hope I'm wrong, but a St Kilda victory in a close one. Sydney Swans to lose to the Giants at the SCG. Oh yes, it's very much possible, mate. Adelaide to lose to Carlton. Actually, nah. You know what? Carlton to beat them at the Adelaide Oval, I think. But fairly close, 8 points. Freo v Melbourne. I reckon Freo can pull something off, but I don't think they will. But I think they can, but I don't think they will. They can, but they won't. Yes, that's the logic behind my prediction there. Brisbane, I think, will beat Carlton by 20. Geelong to beat St Kilda by 22. The Giants to beat Essendon, I think, by 4. Hawthorne to beat Gold Coast by 18. Don't be too extravagant, David. Collingwood to beat Melbourne by 6. I'm just, like, every time I see Collingwood v Melbourne, I always see Collingwood winning. So I'm just going to be like, there's some sort of curse on Melbourne when playing Collingwood. So Collingwood are their bogey team, basically. And that's what I think Collingwood will be in this season. I could be wrong. North to lose to Sydney by 4. I've not gone for a lot of underdog victories here, which is kind of worrying because that's not normally how seasons go. There's always a shock, you know. North beating Sydney in round 21. Yeah, it's a long way away. You never know how both teams do at that point. So, you know, at this point, you're just guessing because, like, you don't know the season's not even started yet. Like, you don't know who the surprises are or everything. So you're basically tipping these in vain because you never know. Bulldogs to win this by 23 against Freo. Port Adelaide to beat Richmond by 14. West Coast to beat Adelaide Crows by 3. Essendon to lose to Port by 7. Gold Coast to lose to Geelong by 18. That puts Geelong in second. Melbourne will beat Carlton by 24. Richmond, unfortunately, in this game, will beat Hawthorn by 16 points. St Kilda will beat the Lions by 9. That puts them back in 7th. Sydney to beat Collingwood. Sydney to beat Collingwood by 14. I don't know why I thought about that. For some reason I thought, oh, maybe Collingwood could... Nah. Western Bulldogs to lose to the Giants by 5. Adelaide to beat North by 16. This one is purely because of Adelaide Oval. No other reason, really. I expect both teams to struggle, to be honest. Freo to not just break the curse, but beat them twice in 1 year. Freo to beat West Coast by a goal. Brisbane to beat Melbourne at the Gamma by 19 to make a statement pre-finals. Carlton, oh, this is round 23 as well. We've already gone far. Carlton to beat Collingwood by 2. I reckon this could go either way, but I'm swaying towards Richmond. Richmond by 7. That puts them in 7th. That's a big swing. Geelong will beat West Coast by 18. That puts them in 1st. Where are the Dogs are 3rd now? Melbourne's still in the top 4. The Giants against Fremantle. Giants by 13. Hawthorn to beat the Dogs by 9. Yes, it's possible, guys. All right, I'm not delusional. I've had us losing most of our games, all right? But, you know, we'll pull off a big win here and there. Maybe the Dogs is one of them. North against Gold Coast. Gold Coast to win by 5. St Kilda v Sydney. St Kilda to win by 7. Port Adelaide to smash Adelaide by 40. That's the biggest margin so far. So, according to this ladder predictor, Port Adelaide minor premiers, Geelong 2nd, Western Bulldogs 3rd, Melbourne 4th, Brisbane 5th, Sydney 6th, St Kilda 7th, and the Giants 8th. Those are the 8 teams that are in the 8. Just a different order. Richmond in 9th. I didn't do this on purpose, I swear. I didn't do this on purpose. I had Freo in 12th, I think, or 11th. I had Hawthorne behind Freo. So in a way that was right, but I had Essendon in 10th. I had Essendon in 10th. And then Carlton was somewhere above Hawthorne as well, I think. So Essendon and Carlton were up here with Freo and Hawthorne. Hawthorne were like 13th. Hawthorne were 13th. Hawthorne were 13th, yeah, Hawthorne were 13th. Freo 12th. So Carlton must have been 11th. And then, why am I even saying this to you? I bloody have it here. David, wake up. It's because I edited so much last night. There's too many files on here. Where is it? Right, there it is. Right. That's a background. Right, where are you? No, not that one. That one. I can't bloody use a computer anymore. Right, here it is. Let me maximize it. What? Can you go away? Why are you here? Oh. There we go. Now you need to see the other screen. Right. I'm like an old man now. I can use a computer, I swear. Right, so the team, I mean, I had them in 1st here and 3rd here. Melbourne 4th and 2nd. So Port Adelaide 3rd compared to 1st. So all 3 of those in the top 4. The Lions are put in 4th though, and on here they're 5th. So there's a bit of a difference. So Geelong are the team I put in 6th. But they're 2nd on my ladder predictor. Saints in 7th, exactly. Giants in 8th, exactly. Richmond in 9th, exactly. It's pretty mad. Considering I didn't do it on purpose, that's pretty mad. Yeah, Essendon 10th, Carlton 11th, Freo 12th, Hawthorne 13th. But here is Freo 10th, Hawthorne 11th, Essendon 12th. And Carlton are down here in 16th. So I don't know how that's happened. Freo, West Coast in 14th. They get the spoon on my ladder predictor. Collingwood 15th compared to 13th ladder predictor. So my ladder predictor has them doing better than I think they will. Gold Coast in 16th, 15th ladder predictor. Adelaide 17th compared to 14th ladder predictor. And North Melbourne 18th and 17th. So a few close. The bottom 6, apart from Carlton, there or thereabouts, are my bottom 5. And then, yeah, apart from Carlton being down here, you know, most of it isn't that much different to my own predictions off the top of my head. So, not too bad. Based on this, how will the finals go? Ports, I had them winning the flag, remember? And I had them winning the prelim at home. Brisbane to beat the Giants. Sydney. My prediction has gone wrong, guys. I predicted both Sydney and the Saints in the prelim. They can't both make it if it goes like this. Oh boy. Let's go with the Saints marching in. Geelong to beat the Dogs, I think. And then... okay, let me make this realistic. Because there's no way the Saints are beating Sydney at the SCG and then beating the Dogs in week 2. The Saints aren't doing that this year. Yeah, there we go. Right, Sydney to beat the Saints and then to beat the Dogs. That's more realistic. Brisbane to lose to Melbourne. And then you have Geelong, Melbourne and Port, Sydney. So you have Port and Melbourne going through. Melbourne defending their premiership title. And losing to Port, who win the flag. Yeah! What an atrocious video. But... you guys like watching these based on the videos I made like this last year. You guys seem to like these, so I'm making them, and it's quite fun. But like once you get past like round 10, you're just, I mean, at least for me, I'm just guessing at that point, because like you don't know which teams are going off form, on form. You don't know what injuries will happen. Like a key player could get injured in round 9, and then the whole team is just done for the rest of the season. It can happen. It can happen. So like we don't know how the season will go. Like after the first 4 or 5 rounds, it was hard to see like who's good, who's bad, who's a big surprise. But yeah, for most of this video, I'm just blindly guessing based on what I think they'll do from my season predictions. So it's gonna backfire. But hopefully at least like the first 7, 8 rounds or so, hopefully I at least get it somewhat accurate. So yeah, we'll see. If you want to try this in your own time, be sure to do that. And if you do, let me know what your results are in the description below. In the comments below. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.